welcome to today's podcast. Today is a special day. And I adjust my mic. But yeah, today is a special day. Welcome to this broadcast. Today we're excited to bring you another Friday Live podcast with my colleague Dennis.
It's a podcast on a Friday. It's a Friday night. Friday night.
Yeah. This Friday night.
Okay, there's this thing about
Friday night.
No, but not about Friday night, but about, let's say, artists when they're performing.
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay tonight?
Yes.
And this is like around 3 p.m.
Yeah, 3 p.m. Even in the morning.
Yeah, it's like, I hope you're having fun tonight.
Or in the building. There's in the building.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 in the building.
We're outside.
We're outside. We're not in a building or something.
Yeah, it's one of those things. But yeah, welcome to Friday Live. Today is the 26th of August, 10 days after my birthday.
Yeah.
Woo! Grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many days after
Glad that you guys are there watching. How many more?
How many days after birthday? I think it was last week
10
Friday, right?
days. 10
Yeah.
days. It was on a Tuesday.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's 10 days after my birthday. Glad that you guys can join us today.
Yeah.
There's a lot to discuss. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Great. So yeah, welcome to this broadcast today. Very excited because we have a couple of topics to discuss. Some of them are just for chills, others are a bit serious in a way. But we'll start with something that is serious. But before that, I would like us to talk about ourselves in a way. Because Dennis is doing so many things right now. He's buzzing in the media.
I'm back.
He's back. He said that he's back. So what is happening with you? I'm seeing stuff happening.
Yeah. You know, I took a break from media, media promoting my personal things, my private stuff and all that, I think for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So I think when I got back to working for me, I had to sit down and see really what's happening and what's going on. Yeah, so there's been a lot going on lately. I think from May, June, July up to now. Yeah, so I've been pulling several strings behind in the background to just get things out there. And those are some of the things that are coming out right now. Yeah, so I think earlier around May, June, July, I've been talking about Taxify Malawi. Yeah, so Taxify Malawi is it's a mobile application that helps people to lease or rent out their cars, and they also help other people to borrow or hire taxis, something like that, or hire a car. So it's the way Uber works for those people that know Uber. And what we do is, if you have a car, I have my car there. I've registered my car there, 2 of them. So when you log in onto the application, you can log in as a driver, and you put in details about your car, you're verified. And you can also sign up as a passenger. So every time you're trying to go somewhere, Mangobanga Punch application, it shows you the cars that are 10 kilometers around your radius. So you can book and somebody will come pick you up. Wow. It's the future of transportation basically, and the sharing economy. So it's one thing that I'm pushing. I bought some shares in the company. I bought some shares in Taxify Malawi. So I co-manage and co-own Taxify Malawi. So I've been pushing that, been trying to do strategies. I'm responsible for marketing and strategies, everything for Taxify Malawi. Okay, cool. So there's a lot coming up on that front.
Cool, man. I'm excited about that. I think it's high time that you get back in the game.
I'm trying to crawl in there after a break.
After a break of learning SAP.
I went to learn systems. So I think my break, working full time helped me to learn systems, SAP, dealing with vendors, managing budgets, and just working with other people from that high end. You know, when you're sitting on this side of the table, there are things that you see, but when you go on the other side of the table, you also observe how you were behaving on the other side, so you learn how to actually put your things together. Yeah. So I think I learned a lot. Yeah, so there's Taxify, and last week I was out of town. Went to Dedza. In Dedza we have launched several initiatives there. So I've got a partnership with this guys, Sanna. And because I'm on this podcast and talking about these partnerships, Sanna, I hope next time we're gonna have Sanna branded.
Come on,
and
you should be able to sponsor
I will sponsor this podcast so we can just talk about everything that Sanna is doing. Let me talk to the bosses at Sanna to see if we can come to the podcast and just talk about this other side. Because I think our philosophy really fits into things like this, being creative, innovative, and finding ways to communicate and empower other people. So what we're doing in Tate is we have launched a talent identification initiative. So through my company Iman Talents, I'm trying to find out unseen talents in different disciplines, from the arts to sports. So I'm trying to diversify I've worked with, I think, Oyimba, my DJs, things like those, comedians, but not really straight into sports, apart from Kufeo acrobatics, which was more like sports and entertainment, athletics. So we are trying to find out if we can get some talents there. We have launched in football and netball bonanza, and I'll be there next week from the 5th to the 10th. In the village. It's a rural area. So there are actually sporting activities happening right now every Wednesdays and Saturdays. The TBDAS also want to do quiz, spelling bees in 17 primary schools. Wow. So we're working with 17 primary schools there. And I just want to go there and find things that are interesting, that if we put them on this podcast next time, say, okay, can you see this is what is happening in this? This is how talented the kids are. People will say, oh wow. So I just want to give young people an experience that I got when I was young. Because I grew up in a rural area in Long, where somebody gave me a chance to come to town with the for a full day. And that changed me. So we'll go there and identify some young people. These are ways I know. Maybe we can have even one or two on the podcast to hear about their aspirations, what they know about life, their goals and all that thing. So so that's one of the things that kept me busy, I think, over the weekend.
So much adventure. Because last week we didn't have a Friday live because this guy, apart from that, we were premiering a video of his birthday party, but he was not around. So it was one of those days. He's so much involved. Hopefully next time, even if that you are aware, we could do a Friday live, hoping that we would have internet.
I hope so.
Power
and internet. Those are two very different, important but very difficult things to get in Malawi these days.
So let's go straight to the topic. So today, the first one we're discussing is about ESCO, the power, like the woes of power in Malawi. It's a mess right now. Right now, let me just give you a picture if you're not from Malawi, or maybe if you are privileged to have other defensive mechanism, wherever you are. So in Malawi, we're having a very serious power shortages, like power cuts. And it's because of, I think one of our transmitting center or power generating center called Kapitila. So there's a mess right now. Because we're having sometimes 8, 10, sometimes even 12, hours without power, which is affecting so many things. So if you look at the numbers of people that have power in Malawi, I think it's around 17%. That is even true because of the situation right now. So we want to talk about it. I don't know how you're looking at it, because for me, I'm telling you, this is breaking the whole ambition of 2063 agenda, building systems, industrialization, and other things that Malawi is trying to achieve. I don't know how you're looking at it.
No, it's a crazy situation, and I think we have put ourselves in a fix. At this point in time. Yes, we know the cyclone Idai destroyed the power station in Kapitila. But that's like months ago, and months later we're here and we're still talking about the same problem. We can't fix that thing. So I think it actually just like shows how weak our structures are. And if you have got weaker structures, you can't develop. That's what I believe. You can't develop with weaker structures.
You can't.
If that thing shuts down, no, first we don't have backup for it.
Yeah.
And we don't have qualified personnel to fix that thing when it has been vandalized or damaged. You tend to wonder, what do people learn? The people that are doing electrical engineering at the Polytechnic, Mubas now, what are you learning if we can't fix that in local time? Is it an issue of spare parts? Like, why do we have to wait for experts? Because I know it has been always the news like, oh, we're waiting for experts to come and help us fix this thing and whatnot. Yeah. We already have very, very little supply of power in this country. And the only little that we have now, we can't even sustain it. Yeah. So it's a very big problem when you're talking about development. I do most of my work online. Yeah. The time that working from home, the time that power goes off, I need to find a place where I can go to work from.
A quick one.
That means I need to get a ride or jump on a bus to go there.
And that's money.
That's money, there's fuel, there's time being lost in transit. And now fuel, remind also finally fuel is literally you go to 3-4 filling stations for you to get where there's fuel supply. So I think where development is concerned, I think power needed to be a priority. And this reminds me now of the same conversation that we're talking about here about Sanna and all these things. I think the last time we had a very, very interesting conversation with Brave from Sanna where we're just like looking into, this was offline, not on this podcast of course. We're looking at why is it that we cannot use the power of the sun? Like, why are we failing to embrace renewable energy? Why can't, like, my areas, area 9, area 10, area 49 have their own main grid? As long as generate local, my power. It doesn't mean like people don't have money. If people are paying all these bills by ESCOM that they can't even use the electricity, they should be able to invest in, let's say, solar panels, like community solar panels, have one generating room where I've got the batteries and then distribute that power in my areas. People should be willing to like say, okay, we're gonna put in money. Because it's the moment you install those panels, they generate power. You can light, why are we not doing that? When you talk about solar energy, solar lamps, the ones that why can't we start solving this problem? And how many and how much they don't have money, they need to pay their 50 but if you can afford, let's say 250,000 for a solar panel deposit, the next month in short time you have like a proper solar system.
For me, the thing is, the moment you're thinking about development, we need to think about our priorities. Of course, there's so many challenges, there's so many issues when it comes to ESCOM, right? ESCOM is saying they're not making profit, that's why they're struggling. AGC, there's a Jenko there who are saying another thing altogether. People are blaming the bundling of the two institutions, because essentially it was ESCOM all along, and then ESCOM was divided into two. We have a Genco, which is the power generating company, and ESCOM does the distribution network and stuff. The crazy part about this is also when you look at now how politicians are coming through and then blaming each other. So there was a press briefing where the minister, I think, was talking about the previous government of DPP, that they messed up things, bundling and stuff and whatever, and he was mentioning about things that were real that time, because remember there was a scandal at ESCOM. There was a procurement scandal, there was
the
fuel scandal. Yes. So people used to embezzle a lot of money. I think ESCOM was more like one of the cash cows, and people were talking about this. It's going to be an issue sometime later, and this is some other thing. So we can't forget the corruption that is alleged to DPP to have contributed to the mess that we have right now. But from where we are, I also see a bigger problem. And what is this problem? This is now the problem of priorities. I don't think solving the issue of electricity would take a lot of money.
No.
If we would go and look at the money that we spend in AIP, the agriculture one,
which doesn't
the subsidy, which doesn't give us the tangible results as well. Which is full of corruption, full of people taking advantage and the like. If we take part of the money and invest in power, that's where the industrialization will come from. That's my view. I feel like the priorities are more focused on how to please people because of the political affiliations, but not necessarily to look at these matters from a perspective of how we can grow, how we can scale quickly.
No economy can develop without power.
No.
Because if you think about it, think about manufacturing. Of course, we don't do a lot of it, but that's where we need to go.
That's where we're going, because the 2063 agenda is based on manufacturing, industrialization, and all things. So
how do you industrialize when you don't have power? Like, people are staying idle the whole day waiting for power to come back. So even when you think about technology, the use of technology and everything, we can't. So there's the blame game going on. Yes, things got messed up. Yes, we know the stories. But as of today, we need to be thinking about sustainable solutions. And we need to be thinking about, okay, do we go towards wind power? Do we go towards solar power? What
do we do
mechanism?
Coal?
Do we do coal? What mechanism do we have to sustain the power plants that we have? Kapijila, Tedzani, Kula. What's happening there with the power generation? We have got these solar farms now that are feeding into the system.
To the grid,
Why can't we now do that more of the solar plants? We have got a lot of land. We have got a whole lake. Our friends in Singapore have got floating solar panels. If you're saying that Singapore solar panels, no, we have a lot of it. And I think, I don't know, I find it so difficult sometimes when I think about this, the structures of governance, which also leads into development of a country and everything. Sometimes I'm thinking that people don't think in this country, or they just sit on the job, use the templates that they find, but they're not thinking deep enough to find real solutions.
For me, I think sometimes it's like they see these challenges. They're trying to sort these challenges by using these structured ways, other than maybe being innovative and just break some ceilings and make sure that things happen.
But I think
development, as we've been talking about, can never be realized in this status quo. And this is the reality of the matter.
This is a fact.
Here we have power. We're streaming here, but we're streaming from solar.
This is solar power. We don't have ESCOM. ESCOM power is out, and will be out, I think, for some time. So this is ESCOM power. This is solar power that we're using, and that's why we're able to stream today. And it's sad because like a lot of people I know my phone charges, and they will like be catching up with this podcast later on, which is
so for people that don't want to invest on content online, they can hardly do. Imagine people that are streaming. Imagine people that have so many things that are trying to achieve in this economy, and everything, their phones, everything is dependent on power. You have an innovation, you want to reach as many people as possible, you want to leverage digital. We say digital is a way, but how can you go digital when people don't have power? Because power is the basic, right? We'll talk about internet later on, because internet is another problem, but we're looking at the power. Power is a basic need, and we need to have it. But it's a mess, man.
Okay, so talking about the system, I listened to the whole conversation with the minister yesterday, and it points to one thing. We have a rigid system. So even after unbundling ESCOM into the power marketing, whatever, and then the power generating Agenco there, they did not unbundle the system. The system in this case is how the people that are in there think and how they need to develop solutions. And for me, if you change how you sit in your house, you're sitting set up, and expecting that setup, the way you change where the chair faces and everything, will change the type of food that will come from the kitchen. That's being stupid.
That's a different thing, right?
Yeah, that's being stupid. And because there are supposed to be things that need to be changed. When you change things here, the results will change here, not elsewhere. So it's like they changed the wood, but they still have like the same engine running
Yeah.
The thinking is still the same. The same way that people were planning for things in 1999, Abagili moving forward, it's the same.
Yeah.
And doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result is called stupidity.
So, yeah.
And basically, I think that's what we're doing now. We're just being stupid and fooling ourselves.
We're completely awkward, and it's painful to a country that is so ambitious, a country that has good strategies, a country that is holding the whole conversation of 2063 agenda, which is basically a Malawi which is going to be developed, a Malawi that is going to be industrious, a Malawi that is going to be tech or oriented in terms of how it implements things and so forth. So yeah, it's an issue, but yeah, we lament here. I hope people will see.
No, but the good thing is people watch this podcast.
Yeah,
that's one thing that I love. Last week when I went out, I met an honorable MP.
Yeah.
Then the night after the podcast, he was like, "Hey man, come here." You know, we had a very, very fruitful conversation, and he referred to several things on the things that we discussed on this podcast, and he was talking about the bill that had just been passed, and good that we're discussing something like that, similar to that in this podcast today. That's about money borrowing and all that, the loans that this country gets. And she was very, very interested in us scrutinizing these things and helping out really advertise already. When we say we have borrowed money as a country, what does that mean? What does that mean? So I think that's one of the topics that we'll be discussing in this show today. Yeah. But
it is what let's go to the benefit thing. I think the government has to go straight forward to the matter and sort it. We're talking of a country, 19 million, somewhere there, maybe 20 now or 21 million people, and then you're talking of probably around 17 to 20% of people that have access to electricity. But this access is not consistent. This access is on time basis, and people lose a lot. So what you're talking of a whole like 80% of the population is not powered, and you're thinking of developing to greater heights. You're thinking of scaling the economy. How? That is not possible. We need to think about these fundamentals. Power is a fundamental.
It is.
Not anything.
We can't go anything. It's the backbone of developing. If I talk about all these things, like everything depends on power. Yeah. And when we say power, don't just talk about electricity or ESCOM. We talk about anything that helps people go do things. Whether it's from wind, whether it's from energy. Yeah. And I think as we conclude, I've got a comment here. Yeah. Or input from Washington. Yeah. Washington is a project manager and he knows this thing. So of course, he sent this to my WhatsApp, but because we're talking about this, he says, Chief, Zamagetsi, Zisieni guy. We need a holistic approach and solution. Yeah. Transparency is the first step. This crisis is a good opportunity to identify short, medium, and long-term solutions. Yeah. Our energy agenda needs to have a good mix of hydro, solar, wind, geothermal, and maybe even nuclear power. We need to have the uranium. And we just wasted some.
We wasted some in Karonga.
Like, I don't know.
Shout out to Washington. It's a good brand. The thing is, what he's saying is the truth. We can never rely on hydro and think that we can power the whole
country and the whole internet. It's not going to happen.
To do a mix of methods. And the mix of methods entails that we need to be innovative. We need to allow other players to come in. We need to open the...
Can we liberalize the energy market, the energy sector? Yes. Can we give room to people that are willing to bring in solar plants to come in freely? Yeah. We need this. It's not like a discussion. No ways. Right now, like where I'm sitting, when you tell me about ESCOM, you tell me about AGM, they had conflicting statements in their discussions. Somebody says it will some against somebody. Public institutions lying publicly. That tells you we're making losses. Yeah. Even if today if I was the president, I was gonna go like, okay, maybe just to save face for the power that we don't already have. Yeah. But I was gonna say everybody from ESCOM and everywhere, go home, get new people, get a new name, and start afresh. Because that's what's that?
It's a mess, I'm telling you, and there's nothing to be happy about. I know there are people there, they have jobs there, but I think from a perspective of growth, we are not growing. And honestly, I've ever been in places where I don't have power for hours, and I ask myself, why am I in Malawi? why am I here? Why am I this unproductive?
Yeah.
And I'm here.
Because like it's painful when you sit at home and you wanted to do some work, okay? Your laptop power is only 1 hour. That hour goes and you have got 7 hours of no power.
Yeah.
Now it's time to think of when you go into these places, what is my menu? Menu, the cheapest thing that you get there is 5,000.
Yeah. Let's move on from this one.
Okay, our next topic
is a mess, right? We're using different power right now, and we know it's a mess. So, yeah. Next on the list is on Malawi debt. This is a very important conversation because I know here when people come on this podcast, sometimes we talk about fun and and maybe we have other topics that talk about that. But I think we also have a responsibility to the country Malawi, in a way, because there's so much that is happening, and when it comes to debt, it's also one of the biggest problems. What people forget is most of the developments that politicians promise emanates from debt. So people would go around look for different debts from different organizations. The IMF is one of it, provides, but sometimes it provides with good conditions, so that's why people there. But there are some who would give these exorbitant percentages. But yeah, China is a good partner. I think they have done so much. The pride of Malawi, Bingu International Stadium, comes from them. I don't know about Bingu being a new parliament.
The almost park, the almost park, BICC, yes. Presidential Walmart Hotel.
You see? So they've been providing a lot of opportunities, and one of it has been the loans for us to construct roads. Yeah. So there was a loan that was taken in 2011, which was supporting I think it was, I don't know if it was rehabilitation or construction of Karonga Chitipa Road, and that was around, I think, 5.5 billion Malawi kwacha. So China has come forth, and there was a meeting between China and Africa on economy, and they had presented that we have forgiven you, not only Malawi but a couple of countries. For me, this means a lot, but also this means us rethinking of how we deal with debt. So over to you. What's your thought around this?
Okay, I think there's a problem sometimes when you talk about debts and borrowing, because we hear all these international organizations, IMF, the World Bank, the African Development Bank, and when we are borrowing, we're not too sure who is borrowing. And okay, from where I'm sitting, as a kid growing up, when I hear about these debts, I never ever imagined that was my responsibility at any time. For me it was like, okay, when you're a kid, bambo wako akabwereka ndrama kwanza kwina kwake abweretsa nyama pakhomo. For you don't see akabwereka ndrama abweza banye. It's we're happy at home. Ngongole zichezikamba kuvuta tsopano. Angongole ajama dzabwera ku nyumba, amazotitenga TV iyo, titenga. That's when you actually feel the pitch of the loan that your dad got it kusanga utira nyama. I think up to now there are a lot of us young people, not young people, a lot of us, what are we? Our generation, the mid-range generation, young professionals, all we still don't understand how these loans work and how they're going to impact our lives, the next few years, and the lives of our kids.
What people forget is, right now we're paying some debts, right?
Yeah, we're paying from different organizations
that we took, and some of them were taken during the Bakiri time, some of them during the Amai time, during Peter time, and some of them are being picked right now. The government was just approving another law. The parliament was approving a particular loan, right? Very recent.
Very recent. There was one that passed.
So these things are interesting because when a loan is being picked, it's being picked for a particular development. Or even those people that are providing the loan, they look at those conditions. What do you want to do? It is so people have a proposal, right? So, but we are paying these loans. We're paying back. So every month, I think when government has collected,
instead of putting that money into developing the country. So let's say in a month the government has collected 1 billion. My God. Okay, let's say 5 billion.
5. I'm telling you, it can be 20 or somewhere. Yeah.
But there's a chunk of that goes back to loans that we already consumed. So Better back, I think the easier way to think about it is to think about the government as our households or you as an individual.
Yeah.
The moment you're going to Gabega drama, umakhawarenga responsibility kuti ndikabeka drama wasovera okay, for most people, not a lot of for few people. Because I think Kanyaloni I think, and it's like in our blood that people take borrowing as I think we think many government team organizera.
Yeah.
Kuti ndikachibereka asi responsibility yanga awo tizakambirana we don't have a plan to repay adibeka anthu amene yanjanjani zithera mu drama there's a whole thing I think drama za nkhani za ndalama zobekana zakungole sitimamangitsana
timangouza na kuzibereka
bwanji. So there's that notion that I think has now even just brainwashed us because Barnabas even friends people don't repay us. Friends don't drama, but for you to go get back your money. But it's the same thing that
kukwenyana barangota police just not bus.
Wabalishaka ngolo aposo na yeso wapeza aposo ntaji na yeye ambeso kupanga bozaki pamene. It's insane.
I wanted to bring another dimension to that, which is the dimension of corruption. So you see how painful Tate ngongoleja, right? Ngongole yo bangira ngansi kaya waku tese Neno, right? Neno Road, which has been the talk of the town. Ngongoleja, let's say is 10 billion. That money has to be repaid by us, our kids, and so forth, right?
In the next 10 to 15.
Then some officer takes a bribe from the guys. I'm not gonna want to say waja. And because of the bribe, the guy is not going to be able to be strict in terms of the quality of the road. This is utasumalizika sutabwino. So uonongeka before its time. So that guy we have taken a loan meant to go as lose, but adainage anajaoka. Or anaja antu awili atatu asiwo ndana drive. This is painful. This is where when people are saying I don't want to pay tax, I don't want to do that because they feel the pain because you are paying servicing the loans of where other people anangotenga na major nagulaga gari modem G2 and so forth, but it's painful, man.
Yeah, okay, there are all these figures that come out when it comes to money issues in Malawi.
Yeah.
Organization yakuja kuti kunapangira misappropriate 300 million.
Yeah.
Organization yakuja kuti kunapangira misappropriate these billions.
Yeah.
Do we ever sit down and ask ourselves what drama is this?
Hey.
Most of this money are loans and donations that come into this country. And it's not usually the tax. It's the these people are sitting there and people are sharing billions and billions of money that our kids and our grandkids are going to pay back. And when you think about it, right? With interest, when you think about it, somebody is working hard day and night.
Yeah.
And all his earnings are being deducted from him in the form of taxes and levies. And that money is servicing a loan.
Yeah.
That was meant to build a road which is not there by that time.
I'm telling
and
you.
Then I get nyumba ku area for the
three, right?
Where wing. Nah, I think that's being inhuman.
That's being inhuman because look at it. Payee right now. Payee is if you're receiving let's say a million. Payee memado ile million bacha. If you're getting let's say 500,000, payee yake the higher you go 2 million. Payee yake ndio vuta kwambili. So you part away. Your employer is giving you let's say 2 million or 3 million whatever. You are parting away with a huge figure that goes to the government to support the development like ESCOM, which is failing and all those things. And then all those things are crumbling like that. The health sector maybe is crumbling. You have all these sectors that are crumbling because nothing's happening. You find out somewhere.
It's sad. It's a very, very sad situation.
Come on.
So I think it's high time now we even start scrutinizing these laws, and I think that's the conversation that I had with this MP. She was like, I was there in Parliament, and when this was being tabled and being passed, I sat there and I was looking at young people that I know I've interacted with.
Yeah.
And I asked myself, but do these young people, and she was like, I had you in mind because we had an encounter in Parliament previously where we were talking about development and all that. It's like I sat there and I was thinking about, does the people like Imani know Ngongole is Rubanga Pasimunozi? azabereke ndi ana awo. And do they even understand this money? What? Because as an MP, I'm there and I'm talking to other MPs. If I want all two circumstances from the opposition benches, maybe we're looking at it from a lens to friends in but I think there are bills that are being bulldozed in the parliament that we're not scrutinizing. If I ask you, sit down with you now, can you explain to me that loan that has been passed? And I was like, yeah, I know there's a loan that has been passed.
And sometimes when the loans
do you talk about these things? There's a loan that has just been put on our head to parliament.
Imagine, I don't know, but for me, right, if I have a loan, right? I think
I have the same problem.
So like, you have a government that has a bunch. I think maybe next time, right? Next time, let's bring in, let's do a research of all the loans that we have. So this bank on power, and then we explain them. Look at Gongoli.
Actually, we need to ask for records from parliament of all the
loans that
have been passed at least from this regime. Then we have to look back at Malonzi and how are we servicing them? Where are we? What's our loan status as a country?
What did those loans do?
We need to start asking the hard questions.
Yes.
Now.
So those questions are very important. But kudos to China for doing that. People are saying maybe it's not in good faith. There's something that they're proposing. I don't know.
Thank you so much for writing off that debt. It's not a lot compared to the debts that we have, but at least it's a burden that has been taken off. But then when but you're taking another loan times 2. What are we trying to do to ourselves? I think little Friday like we need to know about these things and be in the game. We need to call our MPs, sit them down. And I'm not going to pass my bills
and if someone steals, right? If there's certain allegations, that's true, right? If someone steals that money, inflate my figures, and then they come out with get contracts and videos and make money out on our head on the money that we're going to pay back. What country are we living in, man? This is crazy. But anyway.
Like for real, us as young people, we need to be interested in these things because for real, as far as I'm concerned, there are a lot of people that are in government. I've interacted with all of these people. We have interacted with these people in different forums. And we know how inefficient a lot of these people are.
There's a lot of inefficiency.
If you're trying to help them on a project, for you to write an email, go ahead. No. So I think
there's so much.
I don't know what needs to be done, but there needs to be like some movements going on.
A serious overhaul in terms of what is supposed to
be. And this is not just a talk about overhaul. This is like real. I think each and every department, the ministry, they need to like search for bright young people outside here. I think the department is here. You know, we call it a what?
Think tank.
Yeah, more like a think tank. Okay, you know how parasites work? The ticks. You have like a whole cow, a tick comes there, but it affects everything. You know, if I want the bed bug. Nsigids, I say, you feel it, no, something is wrong. We need to nsigids, this color for every department, like people that are just like really result oriented and everything for every department.
So we need a lot of changes, and I think there's so many things that is happening. Some people are in government. I'm thinking they're brilliant minds, but they're always disappointed. They've been disappointed by systems,
bureaucracy, and then I got you
procurement that takes like a year for an approval to happen. But it's one of those things. So cool, it is what it is. Let's talk about Macra. I forgot I was supposed to send an email somewhere. But this is how podcasts are supposed to be. So while I'm searching for that email, Macra. So break it down for us, man. What is happening in Macra?
Okay, new blooms at Macra. We've seen a lot of things that we've seen Pangamalani. Interface meetings from Blantyre, Lilongwe, Zuzu. Yeah, it looks like David Suleiman is there trying to do his thing to show that, yeah, they said a lot of things when they were in the opposition about the country, and I think Awese Obanga's men is also. But now I think the bone of contention now is an issue of content licenses for TV stations and radio stations.
Yeah.
There was one Yaman courier companies, something like that. And I think for a lot of people, they're trying to zero in into what's happening. Are these closures or revocations of licenses legit or motivated by other factors? So we know Ufulu FM has their license revoked.
Yeah.
Rainbow Television, they have their license revoked.
Yeah.
Does Galaxy still exist? Or
I have a list here.
Yeah, can you just go through the list?
A list of all the. So we have Ufulu FM, Ufulu Television, and Galaxy Radio. So these ones, Macra says Ufulu FM owes them 27 million, 270,000, and Ufulu Television owes them 80 million, 100,000, and Galaxy Radio owes them 28 million, 893,000. But earlier, Macra also revoked license for Joy FM, Sapito FM, Capital Radio, Angaliba Radio, and Angaliba Television, but also Rainbow Television. And I think it's all about money. It's an issue to do with money.
Money, okay. Yeah. So, from my perspective, Macra is an authority. It has got a mandate to fulfill some of the tasks that it has mandated to do, and making sure that broadcasters on this band have good licenses is one of those mandates. And each and every radio knows that not just radio, each and every broadcaster knows that they have also a responsibility to pay or service their licenses. If these radio stations did not service their licenses, I think there should be, or there are channels that they're supposed to communicate this. I've worked for, not even an authority, I've worked for a council, Malawi Tourism Council, the one that regulates private operators in partnership with the Ministry of Tourism. People need to renew their licenses. When they don't renew, there are things that they cannot enjoy, benefits that they cannot enjoy, but in this case they cannot operate because the law says so. But then when people cannot afford because of different things, we had COVID and all that things, there's supposed to be
hasn't been easy.
An interface on how can we service this payment. I would love to hear if Macra gave them an opportunity. Because previously we know MRA has been closing shops, businesses because of unserviced levies and duties. But then what they do is they give them a period. Can you repay this? Because there are jobs involved. People work there.
There are so many things involved.
So we are people that are trying to build an economy, and media is one of the most crucial aspects of developing a nation. People need to understand what's going on, and we need diverse voices where we can listen to different things and see, learn, and all that. So, did Macra reach out to these guys, say, okay, you guys, you owe us so much? Maybe the previous regime, easy. Or they just said, okay, these are the ones that were enjoying freedom because they have good associations. The previous regime now, new bloom, and we're going to deal with you.
That's the thing. For me, I think it's about quality. I think we'll do better. We'll try to make sure that we're getting most of this information to understand from, I think we should get people who can research and tell us, to understand what happened. Because if you're looking at the figures, some of them are being...
How much is a license? Because that's my first
how
question.
Much is a license
for a
year,
broadcaster,
or is it a month or whatever? So how long did it take for them, and what has happened to these radios like Joy, the Galaxy?
To stay...
Is it like advertising not coming? But to be honest, businesses are suffering. Advertising is not easy. People are racing with the typical big businesses that are advertising like Airtel, TNM, but also other industries that are like made a lot of money during the COVID era.
They went online, people doing online and all that.
Businesses have been suffering, specifically radio. And sometimes I feel like radio is going to suffer. And most of the people that are owning radios, they need to really move from just dealing with customers the way they are being. Maybe they need to cut their costs and do business differently. Because I'm telling you, advertisers right now are thinking about their money.
Yeah, well, you can just put out an advert for the sake of. Before putting out there, you sit down in the boardrooms with your marketing team, sales, to actually say, is this worth they're putting out there? Is there a return on this investment?
Yeah, because I'm telling you, it's crazy right now. But I hope Macra means business.
And they're doing this in good faith.
In good faith, but also I think they are thinking about people, because sometimes you need to investigate. I don't know if are they completely not willing
to repay
the money.
And
think about the jobs. The government sold the belief of creating jobs, but some of these ways jobs are going down because people are losing their jobs. Because the advertisers can't come if your radio is down, can't come if your TV is down, and then you have to look for money, then get the license again, then look for people because maybe people left and went to some organizations. So it's one of those crazy setups that needs to be looked upon critically, and I think Macra is doing that. So it is what it is. Shout out to Tate. He's good. He's doing his job right.
Yeah, he's done a lot of things, and I'm so proud of him in a short time. I think he has changed different things. Yeah, so we just hope that you continue doing the good work, and whenever you make decisions like this, there's like a justification that everybody can see, and people don't paint you or see you wearing
party colors,
party shirts.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So that's another thing. He has they have given Nyasa mobile license.
Yeah,
which is a good one. And there's another one as well. I've just forgotten the name, but that's kudos to what they're doing. They're trying to bring the playfield has to be competitive, so forth. So
level the playground. Yeah.
Cool. Let's go to the other one. Let's rush. Okay,
we have an issue here about
Andrew Tate. Hey, Andrew Tate. Okay, so let me break it down a bit. Andrew Tate, he's an influencer, comes from the boxing space.
He's a
kickboxer, been champion several times. So he comes from there, and then he starts being an influencer, creating content of different sort that regards to male empowerment. So he talks about masculinity a lot. And I think through that, he has messages that have been deemed misogynistic in nature, that have been deemed against women in some form. So there have been a big campaign that has been there from the most feminist movements to deplatform him in a way. And it started with, I think, Twitter, and it's gone from Twitter to so many platforms right now. I think TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well. They have removed him, and they're also removing even content that is related to that. So obviously I don't think this video might stay for a long time, because if it has his face properly, I think they're creating all the videos. The arguments that have been presented that he is against women in a way. There's a male community that feels like he was speaking on their behalf, because I think he was speaking very uncomfortable messages around masculinity and so forth. And people feel like there's unfairness when it comes to how he's being deplatformed, and they are citing so many things that I will say later on. But I think for me, that's the breakdown. That's what is happening. He did his final messaging where he's explaining his justification of argument. He's saying that some of the videos that he had published were at a time that he had a different perspective, and he has disowned some of those elements, and he has been speaking about a particular narrative. But people don't want to forget everything. They're using the whole narrative as that's him. So he say that this is a different agenda, blah, blah, blah. But also other people are saying the messaging that he's putting is going to affect people, how they view women, and they can also take over the misogynist heart and hate more women. So it's quite a An interesting story.
It's a quite an interesting story. I know how you package your message also comes across to different people in a different way.
Yeah.
It depends on perspective, basically.
Yeah.
So we know a lot of feminism movements,
Yeah.
and there are people that are gentle about advancing feminism, and there are people that are vocal and they don't back down on anything when it comes to women need their space, women need this, women need that.
Yeah.
And for me, there's some that I think go overboard of that, because when you are trying to create equality and you're trying to create spaces or a generation where everybody feels they're equal, they are okay, they are respected.
Yeah.
You have to respect the other side.
The other side. Yeah.
So it's not like I'm saying Tato's doing the right thing. No, he has his narrative of how he sees things, and there are people that have been following him and they love what he has been doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are also other quarters that push for the feminism agenda.
Narrative,
I think
in a similar way,
similar style,
how he has been doing it, right?
But nobody really complains about women that are
vocal in that
vocal in a way that they seem to be anti male species,
masculine. Because you see, masculinity is good. For me, that's how I look at masculinity. Is a state of being a man and knowing that I'm a man.
I'm a man. I need.
This is what a man does. This is what a man.
These are my responsibilities.
It is. That's masculinity. There's this toxic masculinity that now views the other gender as a lesser gender in some form and then attacks them, whatever. There's also feminism, which is feminism that looks at equality and feels that this is who we are. Yeah. That's being feminine, right? And there's this toxic feminine, which is now you now going against the other gender. So I think extremism in any format is wrong.
Is wrong.
So when people are arguing, there's an argument of people that are saying that if you go on YouTube, you go on TikTok, you're gonna find women that have done videos that are saying, I hate men because ABC, and they explain their thing. They're not gonna be deplatformed.
No.
But if a man comes and say I hate women, he's gonna be deplatformed right away. He's gonna be jumped on and so forth. Of course, there's a history. I do gender studies. There's a long history around women oppression, and I think the anger comes from that long history. But I think to correct things, we need to think about the just way of doing it. Because if we don't think of justice, I feel like we're going to lose as many people as possible that would look at the movements that are trying to promote women as movements that are just trying to remove men from a particular positions or remove men from other spaces. Yeah. It's not about removing. It's about saying we deserve this together and reasoning in that format.
Absolutely.
That's how I look at it. And even in my studies, when I'm doing gender studies, I've argued against the radical feminist arguments because I feel like it creates a battleground for two genders.
Crash and
and that has been there. If you go on TikTok, is why I hate men, or is why I don't like women. So it's like a gender against a different gender, and I wonder what we're trying to build right now. And now with so many genders that are coming from a different recognition, I recognize myself as a stone. Some other people they recognize themselves as an animal.
I'm an egg. I don't know if I'll come out as a man, but I'm an egg right now. So
it's a confusing world that requires people to be sober in how they look at it. But I don't think there's soberness because I think different extremist elements are controlling different narratives. So those who are masculine, toxic masculinity, they're controlling a narrative, and those who are toxic feminists are controlling a narrative, and it's a battleground that I don't find it funny.
No.
I don't find it hurtful.
So like the whole thing of now deplatforming people that have got a different view
in a way,
I think now needs to be in perspective. Really, why are the women that hate men that got the speech still have their voice on this platform?
Yeah.
But this guy who chose to speak for men.
Yeah.
In this way,
there was a woman. I watched part of the video. I think it's on YouTube, was talking about that she's gonna need to be corrected though, that she's gonna I think abort. I don't know if she's a nurse or something. She's gonna abort all the male black children or something like that, because I think she doesn't like men or whatever. The person is still there, not deplatformed. So I think what we have called inclusion has been an inclusion that includes a particular gender because of a particular extreme element, and I find it wrong in a way. I feel like the conversation of inclusion should be on the fair playground. Absolutely. And sometimes fair playground would be to field more women than men because we want to level the field, which is okay, but it has to be done in good faith and with good conversations other than fighting. Because imagine if men would fight.
Yeah.
I've never thought about this. Imagine if men would be would say, okay, fine, yes, we know that there's been some inherent toxic masculinity that has been affecting us and we're trying to fix ourselves, but the way you are coming, we'll fight back. Hey, what kind of war are we doing?
Just word. I don't think.
Yeah, so I think the story of Andrew Tate, the way it's trending and whatever, has created, because there are men right now who are taking that. I think he uses the word top G. Who are saying that we are part of this and we are fighting the system, because he was always fond of saying, I'm fighting the matrix and whatever. Yeah. I feel like people really need to be careful how we handle this, because we may end up creating a gender war.
Absolutely.
That is quite visible and is real like that. So I don't know, man.
Alright, cool. Anyway, let's move on. I don't know how you take it. If you have a comment, please drop your comment.
Please drop it. This is our perspective.
This is our perspective. I'm
trying to be inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Andrew Tate, all the best to whatever he's going to be doing. Yeah.
So still on the international news, there's been also something that just popped up from Finland.
Yeah.
So in Finland now it's an issue of the Prime Minister of Finland, who went out to a club with her friends, and she loves partying. She's young, she's 36.
Yeah.
And she went out to party with her friends, were dancing, she was grinding, she was twerking with a friend who used to be, who's a model, or model is a pop star. Yeah, he's a pop star.
So was twerking on a man, right?
No, on women. Women having fun. And then I think video clip and pictures got leaked from that party and went into the public domain that this is how our minister behaves. She's partying when the country has got problems, and this is... So it has become an issue, I think, for a lot of people. They are trying to call her names, trying to ask her, but the female species, the female gender says no. She's a person, she has got her rights, she can go do whatever she wants, and partying is not prohibited. You can have all the fun you want.
Yeah.
But I think the world, mainly people in Finland, are looking at it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
What's your take?
It's interesting. Why is it interesting? This is how I'm looking at it. One, I'm looking at different messaging. I was reading this as a long post on LinkedIn. Sometimes LinkedIn can tend to be a place where people are discussing goals or whatever other than professionalism. But yeah, there's someone who posted around that they are. I'm with her. Like the Me Too kind of movement. Yeah. Like, I stand with. Her name is what? I stand with Sanna Marin, right? Because men do this every day and they're never called out to do that. And people have been using so many different things. One, to be honest, I just don't know how ministers are supposed to behave somehow. Or maybe presidents are supposed to behave. But I think posts of that nature, you need to be in a particular set of behavior or expression. Because yes, everyone has parties, but maybe I think when you are a leader of that type, there are so many elements and people look at you in a different way. Maybe if we want to change how things are done, we can. But I think what she did and what Boris Johnson did might be linked in one way. They all went to party, and people were on Boris Johnson. And even he was impeached later on, right? Of course, I think he resigned. He resigned, not impeached in a way. he survived so many votes of no confidence. But yeah, he later
This
on
one.
resigned. That was a man who was doing something, who was partying at a time that things were not good. People also citing the times when, the times that Finland is right now, that things are not working. There's so many issues that are there. I think in terms of I don't know if this is poverty or whatever. But they're saying, as a leader, you need to show a particular empathy to people. So the partying is not wrong, but how do you depict it in a way, right? But also maybe how you do it. The way it was happening, maybe it was in a particular, maybe the expression was too much in how people would expect. If you would go at a party that everyone is, there's a different contact, maybe people would look at it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I feel like this whole conversation has to be balanced, right? If Boris Johnson was accused of something similar, because of course it was called, people were dying and whatever, the same way people can also accuse her, because maybe, in my view, people look at politicians from a different perspective. That's my argument.
Yeah.
If she would be a different person, or just like any other person, partying and whatever, no one would say anything. Similarly, because the dancing, right? If people was like, but male people are always doing like that. Are you saying if it is on TV and whatever, people are maybe there are clips that are moving? It's a good conversation. That okay, fine. I found, let's say, the president of the US,
Biden or Trump?
Yeah, Biden. I will find Biden partying and he was dancing with his friends, jumping up and down and then whatever. Yeah, if you have those videos, I think people still wonder because there are so many people who are suffering, man.
Yeah.
And then when they see stuff like that, they're like, So I think for me, it's not. I don't want to put it. I don't want to target gender.
Yeah.
I want to target it on responsibility. And when you're called out for something, let's remove gender and have a conversation that was this right or not before we think about
the gender that was involved.
Because sometimes there's a lot of extremism that comes in because we just want to protect a side or we want to live on a particular side. But is it just from a perspective of inclusion that if this is done by a man, we'll call it, and if this is done by a woman, we'll also call it up because this is wrong. So I feel like this whole thing about private people, politicians, and how they party should be defined.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we'll be observing what happens with this.
Because imagine if we find, in Malawi, so we have a president, of course, our president went to a particular event sometime.
Yeah, in Inchinji,
he did a bit of dancing and whatever.
He was having a good time. It was a private party.
It was a private party, but some people took some videos and whatever. Maybe because the dancing wasn't that heavy. Maybe if he was.
But I've seen the video. It's
twerking and.
I don't know. It's how girls or women.
It's how women
dance in their private spaces.
In their private spaces. But the thing is, if that private space is seen publicly, are you gonna judge the conduct? Is the conduct alright? That's where I find the whole thing, right? Because the way I was not happy when I heard about Boris Johnson dancing when people were dying and when he was prohibiting people from dancing. That was a different thing. But anyway, I think maybe it's too complex for one statement. I feel there might be so many things. There might be some males would be coming through, maybe through my thoughts in a way. But I feel like we need to redefine the conduct of people that are in power. Absolutely. If we do that and we make it clear that if this happens, then it's A, B, C, D. Then regardless of a gender, everyone is going to be right or wrong. And that will be the order of the day.
True.
So I hope politicians are not going to be afraid of party.
Nah, people need to be human.
People need to be human, but
as far as they deliver when they are in their office,
and if it's possible that they can party without being seen, then agree with people. No phones allowed and whatever. And sort it out.
Make it as private as that.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay, cool.
All the best to her. I think she's gonna sort it out with the people of Finland.
Yeah, we hope so too.
Yeah, people should be able to sort that out. I don't think it's gonna be a big issue. For that. I don't think so.
Perfect. So.
I think so.
Okay, cool. It's almost time, but before we go, we get to look into the weekend that is, or that is to come. The highlight of this weekend is nothing but the one and only.
So we have Kizz Daniel in Malawi.
Kizz Daniel is in the country, ladies and gentlemen. He jetted in the country early this afternoon.
Yeah.
Through Kamuzu International Airport, and he posted pictures that he's ready to rock this country tomorrow.
Yeah, Kizz Daniel.
Kizz Daniel.
Yeah, I think shout out to Epic Events.
Shout out to Epic Events.
They've been pushing this event for a long time. How many months? Like from February?
Yeah, I think it's one of the most promoted, like period-wise.
Yeah, period-wise.
Promoted event. They announced his coming into the country like really earlier in the year, and finally here he is. Yeah, still fingers crossed that he's gonna be on stage tomorrow and gonna perform. Of which I'm saying, I think everything that has happened around Kizz Daniel has given him a lesson, and is now taking his craft and his contractual agreements with the promoters seriously.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that really have been looking forward to Kizz Daniel. My neighbor Tammy. I didn't know Kizz Daniel. This is crazy. This is crazy. I knew the name Kizz Daniel. I didn't know his songs, and I think he was not as popular as the other Nigerian acts, Davido, that who you know. Yeah.
He was a big name this other time.
Yeah, I remember the controversy around his contract.
Yeah.
He was forced to change his name, but I didn't know his songs. That's what I'm saying. Like, I knew the songs, but I didn't know the song was done by Kizz Daniel.
Yeah, he has been a name. He's been a big name. I think in Nigeria. Only that, yes, the contractual wrangles created a name for him in one or the other one. Two, I think he's coming back because of the song. Buga has really created that thing.
There's a new vibe.
His music, I'm not a fan of his music. I should be honest.
That's why I don't know. I didn't know it was.
Yeah, you follow him. Like, it's not like he's not like a Wizkid. It's not like a it's not like a Burna Boy, right? He is Kizz Daniel, and I think he has his own touch, right?
Yeah.
And his touch is more
it's soothing, Afro.
Yeah.
It's not his heavy.
Yeah.
Banging this and
No.
I think it's like, I think ladies love his music. That's what I've discovered.
Yeah.
I think ladies love his music because I can see like the hype that they have. I think he's like Mr. Romantic guy.
He
does
is.
like a bit of.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a fan of his music, but I think so many people are talking about the show with what happened in Tanzania. I hope he's gonna come through.
I think he's gonna be coming to just
otherwise
confess all his sins and repent. So this part of Africa can love him. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking if he doesn't show up on stage tomorrow, what will happen?
Okay, like Kizz Daniel, I know you have been introduced to podcast with Magnoni, and I know you're watching this because everybody's talking about this podcast. Apparently.
Alright.
So you might be watching, or you might watch this podcast anytime before. But anybody close to Kizz Daniels, if watching, please tell him Malawi akumaenda ndi mkwiyo ali ndizifukwa zambiri zimene zinakwitsa kalekale. So a very simple thing. And akumazitengera kwambiri. And we are very sure that you're coming here to entertain, to perform, and you're just gonna have a good time. Don't mess around in any way. Don't, please. People are just so angry. They are paying handsomely for your show, and I've heard they've bought tickets in, but please, stick to the script. You're coming to perform, give them the vibe that they need. Have fun with Malawi, very lovely people. Please don't mess up. Don't mess up. For the sake of my people, don't mess up, please.
Anyway, message from Dennis. He's worried of his people who are going to the show. Very unlikely I will participate because I don't find it fun. But I think there are a couple of artists that are there that I like. So if I might participate, would be for those artists, Malawian artists that I would just want to enjoy their craft and then leave before he performs. I've done that.
Yeah,
I can go to a show and never.
I'll need to go there. I need to go there. No, not for the party, not because I think most of the acts playing there, I know Chris Daniel is not like really my big thing, but I need to go there to protect my people. I've got people that are working there that need my care and support.
You have your people there, but also sometimes it's good. Like I'm literally telling you the truth. I can go to an event, right? And leave before the main act comes.
Because
I was going for
like
other
specific
people.
acts.
Yeah, because you have specific people that you like, and I think having watched the doc for a long time, I was thinking if I want to go, then it's the doc. Who else? Is Molinga there in the show? Yeah, if he's there, I have specific people that I want to watch if I were to go anyway. But I think shout out to him. Malawi is excited. I see people are so excited. People are ready to lose their money. Yeah. All the best to losing your money.
Sure.
Anything else, man?
Okay, so looking forward to Kizz Daniel's show. I just want to see how everything is gonna go. There's I think a lot going on. Shout out to Manchester United. Won our first match on Monday against Liverpool.
Well, yes, put on the jersey. I haven't because we are used to winning. So I don't have to tell the story every day.
The new away jersey waited until the first win to come. So thanks to Manu for restoring at least the sanity in the camp. We signed Casemiro. I can't wait for that guy. That guy's a beast. That guy's a beast. I don't know how many red cards he's gonna wreck because he is like that. He's a bully. He's a bully. So I'm happy, but I'm also very cautious.
From Mexico?
No, it's from Brazil.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's from Brazil. So
he looks Mexican in a way.
Yeah, he has got those attributes. So I think football is back. There'll be like several games.
Several games this weekend. I'm excited. I think Man City, we had a very hard one last week.
Against Newcastle, right?
Newcastle.
That was like a really.
We survived on the tip of failure.
There. Yeah. So what else is happening? I know there's an event happening at Rosevine. It's the cocktail for Tumaini. It's where you actually stakeholders, people that are working on Tumaini, share the vision of the Tumaini Festival. So it's happening there. A good friend of mine is getting married tomorrow, on Sunday tomorrow. 27th is when?
27th is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, he's getting married.
Tomorrow? Yeah, it's tomorrow,
Yeah, it's getting married.
There's so many weddings.
Lankeni, Uncle Jew, cousin Hada. A big shout out to him. There's gonna be
Lankeni is always
stag.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know.
There's a stag happening tonight, so we'll be pitching there as well to just chill out with the boys for some time.
It's happening, huh?
Blackjack is in town to host Kizz Daniel's show. Yeah. He arrived this afternoon. He came here, but he'll be back. He just came here to drop me.
Yeah.
So, on the things happening, officially unveiled. Who unveiled who? I don't know.
I don't know.
Did I unveil Blackjack as his manager? He unveiled me.
I don't know what is happening with that guy. But but is managing Blackjack.
I'm working with him. So I have very, very, very much faith in Blackjack, his brand, the thing that he wants to do, or the thing that he does that he doesn't want people to know.
Yeah.
But I think he does a lot, and we want to amplify that.
People don't know Blackjack.
They don't. Actually, people, it's always crazy when I talk to people and they're like, oh, but. Yeah, we hope with the different platforms that we are trying to be in, to plug ourselves or to start, people will actually see the other side of him. That people have been overshadowing with the musician. Yeah.
But I wish you all the best in the management element. I think people have been coming looking for management. I think you're the guy. You
okay, so for me, and this is what I think a lot of people need to know. If you're watching this and maybe I've had conversations about management and everything, I work with artists different way. There are people that I represent. They are my friends. I want to support them, and I will represent them. You want me in a meeting, as far as I know what's going on, you want me to help you with an idea of something, I'm going to pull up. I'm going to be there with you. But that doesn't make me your manager. I can represent you in a meeting with clients and everything. Yeah. And I have got people that I manage. So I manage Sanna because he needs all the management that he needs. And being my brother, we stay together. So it's so easy to just manage him. I'll tell him, I say, can you do this? Can you do that? It's easy. I've got Blackjack now as my second artist that I'm managing.
Yeah.
Blackjack with me, I think we know each other, and I just love how open he is, his ideas. I believe in those. So I put friendship first before management.
Yeah.
So I've got people that I work with, we support each other.
Yeah.
I'm there for them. There's a whole team.
Mm.
Yeah, but management, I can tell Blackjack tomorrow, like, hey, dude, get off that stage now.
Mm.
He just has to. But the others, I can't tell them.
Yeah.
I can just support them to go there and support, So it's how these things differ.
No, cool, man. You have been in the space for a long time. And the good thing with you is you've been in both sides now. You've seen the corporate elements of
international elements of working with artists for different things.
Yeah, and now you're working with people that are within Malawi to build up to some areas of influence. So yeah, absolutely. I think all the best to you. I wish you all the best. I don't manage artists, and I don't think I will. But yes, I forgot about this kid. So let me give a shout out to the kid. There's a new kid called Bernie. What's the name, man? I need to get that.
Okay, while you're looking for that, I think one thing that we need also to mention in this podcast, so like all these guys that are pitching up for different things, mainly the show Kizz Daniels, we'll be chilling this evening. If you want to see us, if you want to meet up with us, wherever you want to meet up, we'll be chilling by Cousin Vinay's place. And that's where we were last time for my birthday. So a big shout out to Cousin Vin. Yeah.
He used the premises without recognizing the brand, so he has to sort it
out. I think we really took it as an oversight. But if you want to meet us, if you want to meet Tana, if you want to meet us, come by the complex there. As you're coming from Gari, there's a complex that's happening. Yeah. There's Pamo and then there's Cousin Vinay. So we usually chill at Cousin Vinay every day. You want to have a conversation in the evening, come through. And he also told us that they'll be opening a new spot close to here. So we're in New Gulliver. You also call it Baghdadi.
I call it New Gulliver.
I think when they open, we'll do another live there.
Yeah.
Strictly, this is exclusive for Cousin Vinay.
Yeah.
They are opening where they used to be in Two's Lounge.
Yeah,
so our Cousin Vinay will be opening there, and we'll do a live podcast there, I think, once everything is set.
Yeah.
So a big shout out to you for always giving us the good vibes that we need every day, and much more on a Friday.
Okay. That's according to him. Shout out to Bernie Michael. Man, there's a kid, right?
Ben Michael?
Yeah, it's Barney. I think Barney Michael.
I thought Ben Michael was born.
This kid is cool, I say. I feel like this kid is going to be the next big thing. I had put it on one of my statuses. Like, this kid can sing, man.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, so I like the kid. I should be talking to the kid. Sadly, I don't do management anymore because I have so many.
But you can support in different ways.
Yeah, I can support in different ways. I think I would, but not management, because for me, I'm building companies, not through. I'm a company person. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it is nice to see that kids are coming with new stars. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the kid, and then all the best to him. Shout out to him. Guys, we have to sign out. This is
podcast with Magnoni
on
Friday Live.
Monday we have a guest. I think we haven't done any promo for next week, but we have Kelvin Silugwe. Sulugwe. Yes. We have Kelvin Silugwe on Monday, and then we'll have other people coming forth. We had a very interesting conversation with Woes as well. Had one of the high profile people coming through as well. So with so many things happening. Check that on Monday 3 p.m. We have an exclusive interview. So until next week, guys, we gotta sign out.
We gotta go to Friday, and please have a